I'm doing a little video here to explain the real meaning behind this video. Don't hug me, I'm scared, number 5. This, in the first moment, appears like it's probably the dumbest of the videos that we've seen until now. But looking at it in a deeper way, we can find that it is actually a greater achievement. They've really managed to put together all the concepts that they've had in the other videos, which were very partial concepts, and get a much broader concept of what the real problem in the world is. So let's watch this, and I'm going to explain in a very clear and easy way as we're going along. I'm not going to get too much into the details. I'm going to try to just explain the real concept in itself that is going on and how it applies to ourselves. So here we go. This whole thing is just a symbol for the brainwashing, society-controlling paradigm that has developed in the world, especially in the last century. There are some persons, like the red spaghetti character from the last videos, who have woken up to this reality and no longer subject themselves to the illusion. Society tries to dominate and isolate these people who question the confusing manipulations that pull our strings like dancing puppets. Let's watch the symbolic video carefully so as to see a few of the establishment's tricks and how two basic types of persons react: those who swallow it and those who don't. Distractions of all kinds are forcing themselves into our realities, vying for our attention so as to keep us from clearly concentrating on the real issues. Almost always, we are being led toward our lower animal nature, which tends to keep us reacting and not thinking. Just like children with attention deficit disorder, we forget what had been important and live with the tyranny of the most immediate and insistent. The media and educational system throw half-truths at us so as to contrive an argument that benefits the establishment with its deluded lackeys. They provide us with a show that easily entertains and lulls us into allowing them to take the reins. But if we question this dream world and its conflictive messages, at first we will be in for a rude awakening. And as if we were inexorably going insane, everything looks different for brief moments. But being that the controlling paradigm is so much a part of our way of living and perceiving reality, all too easily we forget these moments of clarity and go back again into a dream state. But it is not so comfortable now to just sit back and enjoy the show. Things just don't seem right anymore, and we start to reject the manipulations. We even receive warnings from the Matrix, like society, that we must stop questioning those who stand to be authorities. But for some, it is difficult to go back to the childlike, sheepish mentality of before. Moments of awakening become more frequent, and our grip on sanity seems to be loosening. The manipulative system has become more and more frenetic in its efforts to control us, switching between complicated confusions and oversimplifications of half-truths, half-lies. But the contradictions and holes in the arguments appear more obvious, and it becomes virtually impossible to go back to dreaming life away. The system shifts into convincing machinations and more forceful means in its attempts to keep control of doubting individuals. The insanity of it all tends to lead toward antisocial behaviors, escape mechanisms, and mental complications. Very often, the well-intentioned efforts of those who are closest to us enforce the current paradigm and undermine the process of transition toward a new paradigm. And however things work out, they go on with their delusions of a sensible world full of unexamined confusions and violence. The message they have accepted is that the establishment knows better, and they shouldn't bother listening to dissidents and crazies. In the process, they give their unwitting approval to destroying those who would better the world.
Everyone has the teeth go grey. Just eat yeast and it'll go away. But how much have you had today? Too much yeast makes your teeth go grey.
That's some onion paste. Looks like what? Have a taste.
That wasn't onion paste. You shouldn't eat food from a stranger's plate. 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 A stranger's plate.
But don't lose hope. Someday, they too may wake up. If you want to help strengthen a new paradigm for yourself and the world, subscribe to Nuevo Paradigma. In Facebook, look for the Cooperative of the New Paradigm. Hasta entonces.